If you are listening to this podcast, you're probably looking for something inspiring, something uplifting, and something to motivate you to be your best. And I hope Lessons We Forgot is that for you. But if you still need a little bit more of that in your life, and especially if you fill a leadership role wherever you find yourself right now, I cannot recommend more highly one of my favorite podcasts, Standing Tall, Voices in Leadership. My friend Randy Lindquist is the host, and in each episode he talks to one of education's giant leaders. Inspired by Isaac Newton's quote, "If I see further than others, it's because I stand on the shoulders of giants." His podcast uncovers the wisdom, grit, and heart that drive exceptional school leaders. In each episode, Randy sits down with inspiring voices in education to dissect their leadership journeys, tease out practical lessons, and explore the challenges they've overcome. From bold innovations to everyday resilience, Standing Tall offers real-world insights that any school leader can lean on, learn from, and build upon. And according to Randy, when we learn from giants, we all stand a little taller. And that's saying a lot from the tallest person I know. Leadership comes in many forms, from administrators to teachers to anyone who seeks to have a positive influence on the people around them. If that sounds like you, please listen to Standing Tall Voices in Leadership on whatever podcast platform you listen to. And you guys know the drill. Like, subscribe, follow, and interact with all of your favorite podcasts, including Standing Tall Voices in Leadership. And now, on with the show. For this last episode of the summer school series of Lessons We Forgot, I'm going to take you all the way back to June of this year. And I know what you're thinking. It's way too early to have new thoughts about something I just shared a few months ago, but I do. So here we go. In the original episode, I talked about how bittersweet the end of the school year can be. Yes, we were excited about the summer and everything it offers, but it was also sad to see the most recent batch of students leave. And no matter how much I told them they can always come back and visit next year, they know, and I know, it will never be the same. But then it's summer, and I start waking up later, I start going on adventures, and before you know it, I'm in full-on summer mode. And this summer was pretty awesome. I spent some quality time with some of my closest friends, and I even made some new friends along the way. The adventures we went on more than met my expectations, new places, new foods, new experiences. But now we're once again getting to that bittersweet ending. Yeah, I'm excited to meet the newest batch of students and see what new insights and eccentricities they'll have to offer. But it's sad to see this most recent summer winding down. And no matter how much I tell my wife we can keep having adventures together once the school year starts, she knows, and I know, it won't be the same. And before we know it, we'll be in full-on school mode again. In the original episode, I talked about how important it is to really take in everything on those last few days of school, to connect with your students and colleagues, and try to really remember everything you accomplished and all the relationships you made during the school year. The summer is no different. As the summer winds down and the school year approaches, make sure you squeeze the most out of whatever you have left this summer, whether you're off on one last adventure or if you'll be soaking up all the rest and relaxation you can. Don't let the moments pass you by without taking it all in. This is the last episode of the summer school series of Lessons We Forgot. You can hear new episodes in the beginning of season 3, starting on August 30th. Until then, please enjoy this episode called Sunsets. We've all seen a sunset before. There is something so mesmerizing about witnessing the changing colors dancing around the sky. And just like listening to your favorite song, waiting until the very end of a sunset, even though you know what is going to happen, is definitely mandatory if you want to get the most out of the experience. Even though they happen all the time, each sunset is just as magical as the last. In fact, a few special ones might immediately come to mind when I mention them. The last one of a great trip, or the last one of the summer, will of course always be a little bittersweet. Other times, being on the beach or on a boat, or really anywhere near the water, tends to make sunsets even more spectacular to see and even more remarkable to experience. And except for driving down the road with one directly in your line of sight, there aren't really too many times when you wouldn't want to see one. While beautiful, sunsets mark the end of something. In one glorious display, they close the book on a wonderful night, or maybe on an even longer chapter of your life. It's the end of another year. This one is probably no less memorable than any other ones you've had. If it's your first or your last year teaching, it will surely hold an extra special place for you. But for all of us, this ending will share a lot in common with the other ones we've already experienced. The whiteboards are erased, the posters are all taken down, The books are cataloged properly and the accounts have been settled. Your grades have been finalized, candy is fully distributed at this point, and you might even be ready to lock your door and step into the summer right as you're hearing this. And as we close up our classrooms for the year, we'll close the book on one more chapter in the story of our teaching careers. The sun is about to set on this school year, but before it does, let's take a little time to enjoy the show we just witnessed. This year, you were probably introduced to many new colleagues. Once you made it through the getting to know you phase, you found out who they were and what they added to your team. If you're like me, you can't wait to see what they can do now that they know what your school is all about. I saw several of my friends here at school take big steps, personally or professionally this year. They became leaders, they jumped a lane on the pay scale, they honed their craft a little more, almost to the point when they might consider themselves master teachers. You're already there, don't worry about it. But don't stop improving. Others took big steps that most of us didn't see. That might be because they accomplished something that was outside of school, it was intensely personal, or they didn't want to talk about it, maybe because they still have a few more steps to go before they reach their final destination. Others took a step back, but for all the right reasons. They prioritized family, they stopped saying yes to everything, or they decided to focus on what called them to this profession in the first place. At the same time, some of us barely made it to the last day of school. That's not calling anyone out, that's just the reality of teaching middle school. We have been pushed to the edge, we've been criticized and scrutinized, and we've gone above and beyond any reasonable expectation of us. So, whether you thrived or just survived, we're all here together right now. So while the sun is getting really low, don't miss out on the last few magical moments. Whether you connected with all of your students or just one, don't let them leave the building without letting them know about it. Our teams and departments shift from year to year. New faces are a constant in this profession. Make sure your teams know how much you appreciate them before you leave. Most importantly, as the kids leave your room and then the building, as they practically dance their way into the summer, take it all in. Experience it all the way to the end. And yes, it is just like all the other ones, but that doesn't make it any less magical. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Lessons We Forgot. I'm the host, Chris Winkle. You can contact me at lessonsweforgot@gmail.com, and you can follow the show or message Lessons We Forgot on Facebook. Either way, I'd love to hear from you and welcome you to our community. If you really enjoyed this episode, please consider sharing it with a friend. That is the best way to help grow the podcast. If you want to hear more Lessons We Forgot, I post new episodes on Sunday nights. Make sure you subscribe to follow the show on whatever podcast platform you use. And when you rate the show, like an episode, or leave a comment, we can reach even more listeners. If you hate ads just like me, I do have a Patreon site, patreon.com/lessonsweforgot, and for only $1 a month, you can get the show without ads. You can try that out right now for free to see if it's something you'd be interested in. Thanks again for your support.